Hello there, this is Leo with the Melrose Center's audio team, and I'm here to talk about some of the audio gear in the studio and to give you some audio tips. So let's get started. Today I want to talk about the main differences between TRS and TS cables. These cables are widely used in professional and non-professional audio situations, and their proper usage is going to depend heavily on the understanding of their anatomy and their purpose. More often than not, people get confused between these two types of cables because they both use a 1/4-inch connector. A physical characteristic of both TRS and TS connectors is that they generally go from male to male 1/4-inch connectors. Attention to detail is paramount to avoid equipment damage and undesirable situations. Let's look at some of the differences between the two cables. First of all, TRS cables are balanced. You can use these kinds of cables to connect mixers to active speakers or to connect outboard gear as an insert to a mixer. TRS cables are comparable to XLR cables because they're both balanced connectors and they're equipped to deal with noise and outside interference. TRS cables have 3 wires running inside of them, and you can clearly discern this by looking at the connector at the end. TRS stands for tip, ring, and sleeve. The T channel carries the original signal. The R channel carries the duplicate of the original signal with an inverted polarity, and the S is the ground of the circuit. The T and R channels are recombined at the output, and noise reduction is achieved by using the phase cancellation principle, just like with any balanced cable. Now let's take a look at TS cables. TS connectors are unbalanced. You can generally see these cables being used by musicians to connect their instruments to amplifiers or to direct boxes. These cables are also typically used to connect various electronic devices with an audio output that are in close proximity, such as guitar pedals or even outboard gear in a rack. TS connectors are unbalanced, which means that they're not equipped for noise reduction, especially when you're running cables in long distances. TS cables have 2 wires running inside of them, and you can clearly discern this by looking at the connector at the end. TS stands for tip and sleeve. The T channel carries the original signal, and the S channel is the ground of the circuit. With no third channel to carry out an inverted polarity signal, there is risk of introducing noise into the signal path. By developing the skill of discerning between TRS and TS connectors and their applications, you can avoid a whole lot of trouble when dealing with professional audio.